beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I want to tell you a very short but very powerful message, and that is do the things you want to do because you want to do them, right? Not because someone's telling you to do them, not because somebody's saying that's the right way of doing it, or that's the way to do things, so that's what you should do, or that will please others. None of that. Do the things that you want to do because you want to do them because they feel right for you within your heart. And that when you take action on doing the things that you want to do because it makes your heart sing, it makes you just feel alive, then you will see that your light will begin to reach everyone else around you in positive ways. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that you just heard is my new puppy dog shaking and being part of this podcast today. How does it get any better than that, right? We just came back from a walk. So here it is. When you have an idea, a thought, a want, right? It's coming to you. That is your inner self, your inner guides, your higher self, your guides, God, whatever you want to call it or that you believe in, speaking to you and giving you this whisper of an idea, of a thought, of a feeling, right? It's a whisper. It's like, follow this. This feels good. This will be good for you. It will be beneficial for you. And then we get all excited because whenever we listen to our heart, to our soul, to our higher selves, to the messages that we receive, it feels good. It feels exciting. And it feels like, oh my gosh, could I actually really do this, right? Because the ego immediately jumps in and begins to doubt it, right? Is this really something that I could do? Or can I hand it over? Or, am I good enough, right? It always comes back to the, am I good enough to do this, to take this on, this idea? And then we begin to ask other people. This is so common. We ask other people. Why? Because we have been, what's the word? Conditioned to ask for an answer and support and validation from others, right? When you're at school, did I do this right? Yeah, right. The teacher gives you a good check or a good mark, and you're getting validation for your work. And so we have been conditioned to do this, to ask somebody else, should I feel good about this, right? Should I do this? Instead of just tuning in with ourselves, like, oh my gosh, this was awesome. And then just going on about your day, shining your light and sharing how awesome it feels because you are in tune with yourself. So what happens is that we begin to share our ideas, our thoughts with others. And because it's not their idea, not their thoughts, not their experience, they're going to have their own opinions. They're going to come from their own point of view. Now, mind you, some of you might have some really great supportive people in your life, a great circle of friends who are going to immediately say yes, right? But even the most goodwill people around you are still going to have a tinge of their own point of view, right? Perhaps the point of view of saying like, okay, maybe, yeah, this is a great idea. And then they'll give you another idea or a little tweak to do to it or something. That's when we begin to doubt ourselves. Oh, wait a second. Is this idea or thought that I had not good enough? Is there something missing with this idea that I had? That this other person, oh my goodness, how does it get any better than that? That this other person is coming along to say that my idea is good indeed. However, there needs to be something else or some change, right? Now, sometimes the ideas or that they're adding to whatever idea you had is valid, right? For example, let's say you wanted to write a book and you're talking to an author and the author is going to speak from experience, right? But what I'm trying to tell you here is this. Yes, it's valid to get and seek support from others, but only when it still feels good to you, right? If you begin to doubt yourself, your power, your ability to do this because of anything that someone else has said to you, then it no longer is aligned for you at this moment. And now here's the thing. When you take action on your own and you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you're not really telling other people, because really, who do you need to tell? Well, I want to tell people so that they can be happy for me. Let me tell you something. How many times have you had an idea or something and you've told people and then you ended up not doing it or following it through? The moment you give your idea away, you disperse the energy onto everybody else's energy that you've shared it with. Therefore, you no longer have this super strong, laser sharp feeling and energy going towards your idea, because now you've dispersed that energy into you and whomever else you told. So if you told 100 people, imagine the power that that has. Much less than if you had just kept it to yourself, right? This is why so many successful people are able to do things, and they're not really not sharing with people, right? Except the ones that really need to know, like if it's a business or something, right? This is the way it happens. Let me tell you a very short story. When I started learning how to drive, right? I did not need to learn how to drive because when I was younger, like my sister and brother did, because I didn't feel like I needed it. I just took public transportation. I was quite happy with it, and everybody was bugging me, quote unquote, to learn because everybody else had, and I had no interest in it, and it just felt like, "Ugh, leave me alone." Like this, it just feels icky, right? Then it came a time where I actually felt like, oh, I am carrying so much stuff on this bus to go to school. And it was very, very busy, very crowded buses. And I no longer had the space to carry my stuff. You know, I was studying art. I was having this huge, gigantic portfolio. Sometimes I had like sculptures to bring. It was just not working for me. And at that point, I felt like, you know what? I need to drive. I need a car. And I started doing that. I did that because I felt it was the right thing for me at that time, right? I went and I took lessons. And here's the other part, I didn't tell anybody because they didn't need to know. They didn't need to know that I was doing the thing that they kept be bugging me for 5 years to do, right? I think I was 21 by the time I learned how to drive, or maybe it was 20. I don't know. But the thing is that it was much later than everybody else, right? That all my colleagues and friends and whatever had learned. So I did this and I learned, and I started taking lessons in January. I took my test, I think it was end of March, and I got my license and I got my car. And by April, I was driving my car, and everything happened so quickly because I put my mind to something that I wanted. My heart wanted it at that point because I wanted it, not because people were telling me to do it because I needed, I should, or whatever. It was because I wanted. So everything went nice and smoothly, and it happened so quickly, right? Everything that you put your mind to, because it's something that you want out of your heart, always goes fast, quickly, smoothly. Everything works out for you. When you're doing it to please others, there are curvy roads to get to your destination. It takes longer. It's a little bit more difficult or a little bit more strained. It's not the same. Okay. So, and then here's the other thing. Once you do take charge of your own being, of what you want to do, your soul, your heart, and you act upon it, um, and you actually do it, then you no longer have all the other people telling you maybe you should do it this way or do it that way and all of their opinions, right? Because you've already done it. But then, because you're shining so bright, because you feel so accomplished, because you're feeling so amazing and so high, you're vibrating at a very high energy, everyone around you accepts it and loves it and gets to reap upon the goods that you have sowed. This is important because as you are creating something that somebody else is telling you to do, or that it has an inkling of somebody else's opinion, then you don't feel that complete feeling of accomplishment that you did it on your own. Because in the back of your head, there's that little ego telling you, if it hadn't been for this person, you wouldn't have done it. Or, thank goodness that these people over here gave you their point of view. So you can, but then what I'm trying to tell you is like, that's not true. When you take action on what you want to do because you want to do it without really telling anyone else, without consulting, without asking for their opinions, you have you go so much faster, you achieve it so much faster, and you get to shine your light on everyone else around you that if you had told them before, would actually have taken some credit out of it. Okay. And this happens to me all the time whenever I forget about this rule, right? I told somebody, I don't know what it was, something that I was accomplishing, and I was asking, and I was telling everybody, and I was asking for help and whatever. And then somebody said, yes, and I was part of that. I was like, yes, you are. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like, wow, wow, right? Like that one word or conversation or sentence of encouragement made them feel entitled to them having done some of the work. And I'm like, okay, good, that's good, yes. It took a little bit away from it, but it made me realize, right, this is why I gave them the power. I'm the one who was telling everybody about it, right? So like, there he goes. All right. It's all good. It's all good, guys. We all get to reflect on how things feel when you have shared with others, when others have given you their points of view about it or helped you in some way, and when you have done it on your own. You know the feeling about this, you know it. And it is so important to listen to that, to listen to what it is that you want to do right now and do it without sharing it. Why? Because it gives you more power. It gets you to your destination much faster. It gives you more satisfaction. And you get to help others by sharing your bright light. Okay, guys, I hope that this has helped you. It just came to me as I was walking my dog. So it was like really puppy love and divine energy coming through me. I love you so much. Please rate it, leave a comment, let me know how it feels, and share, please, so that more people can get these messages if you find them helpful to you and you know that somebody else might find them helpful as well. I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.